I guess we are live. Are we live? I think we're live. What's up, everybody? Good rise and shine, warriors. Come out and play, warriors. This is your friend Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, baby. Yeah, I gotta open up my shed here with all these paintings. All this stuff was drying. I need to open it up. I need to dry the oil paintings outside of the studio because I don't like the smell of oil paint. Just don't. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it that much to be inundated with it. Inundated. My name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. I'm the world's greatest living artist, baby. And this is Hammer Time. This is the time where I talk to you about your mindset, your loco. Everybody's got a loco up in there. And this is that time. What I want to share with you is the concept of having a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. Many of us maybe have been taught this with other people have talked to us about it, or maybe we saw some video somewhere online or whatever, and or we read it somewhere in some book, I don't know, where the creative mind is the one that is open to possibilities. The creative mind is not the one that is fixed on something, right? For artists, this is very important to know. I believe that the thing that separates the pros from the amateurs, it's not just the work ethic. It's not just how much they've been doing it, how long they've been doing it, or whatever. The thing that separates the pros from the amateurs is that the pros keep a growth mindset. The pros go beyond. Oh my God, I have a raspy. I woke up with a sore throat. I should be able to have something. I only have kids. This will do it. The pros have a growth mindset, and what that means is that you are open to opportunity. You are open to possibility. You're not stuck. You know, if you are an artist, if you're a painter or whatever, there he goes, man. You're not stuck on the way things should be, or the way you did things yesterday, or you had an idea but it didn't come to fruition, and oh man, all you're trying to do is replicate that idea. That's a fixed mindset. You know, that's a fixed mindset. Whether it be music or photography, whatever, any type of art. This is awesome, right? Yeah. A little popsicle. Not popsicle, but a little pop. We tend to go into a fixed mindset, which means that we're looking to replicate something. This is what Picasso used to say: if you're not careful, you start copying yourself. What I believe that meant is that you're no longer trying, right? So you're trying to do what you did yesterday. You're no longer trying to move and to go beyond what you normally do as an artist. And I'm not talking about coming up with a revolutionary new thing. No, it's not necessarily. I mean, if you're that type of artist, awesome, good for you. You know, more power to you. But that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is to be open to possibility. Now, some people think that having a growth mindset means that you're like an open mind means that you're just kind of fucking around. You know, you're not really committed to something, and that's not true. This is where people get it wrong. Having a growth mindset, it's the same as any other mindset that you're like, oh man, I am committed to this, or I am 100% on this. It has no difference with commitment or being around the bush. People seem to think that having an open mind is that you're around the bush and you're just kind of, whatever goes, whatever happens. Let's play by ear. That's not what it means. What it means is that you're open to possibilities. So for example, you can set out a goal, right, as an artist. And having a fixed mindset would be like, I can only get it done if I do this. There's no way I can get it done if I don't do this. But having an open mindset says, I don't know, maybe there's 1,000 different ways I can get this done. Right? I'm going to get it done, for sure. And I'm going to get it done on schedule. And I'm going to get it done, blah, 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 right? But maybe I'm cheating myself out of the many ways or the other people that can help me. You know, leadership exercises are very helpful with this. I've attended some leadership exercises. These are very, very, very cool stuff. For example, when someone gives you directions in a leadership exercise, and someone gives you directions, they separate groups, right? Leaders, and then they're like, "Hey, can you guys do A, B, and C? This is the project you're gonna do." And that's all they tell you, right? They just tell you the project that you're going to do or whatever. And then they don't tell you more. So most of us start working in our group and we're like, build a structure as big as you can or whatever with the resources you got, or, you know, or write an article or whatever. And everybody has to write one sentence and see how fast you get it done, or how big you can make the article, or how persuasive or whatever. What at the end of the exercise, you find out that they never told you not to participate with the other groups. See, that's a fixed mindset. We get into this fixed mindset. It's like, oh my God, I can only do it here. I can only do it me. If I'm gonna exhibit artwork, it should only be online, or it should only be offline, or it should only be in my city or out of my city. Right? I don't like the galleries in my city because they're all assholes, right? Blah, blah, blah. That's a fixed mindset. That's not a growth mindset. It's some bullshit fixed mindset, right? That's what I'm talking about here. Let's see here. Hamdamian art. Danny art. There we go. Would you put your art on clothing, or does that cheapen the art? Nothing cheapens the art, guys. I wanna be able to really hammer this, because I like to hammer. This is hammer time, by the way. Nothing cheapens the art. Most artists are concerned with that. Like, oh, that's going to cheapen my art. Oh, if I put it here, it's going to cheapen my art. Nothing cheapens your art, guys. Nothing you can do cheapens your art. Let me tell you why. Because it's not known. It's not known at all. If that makes any sense. It's not known. See, I guess I have to jump into that now. Thanks, Hamdani Art. What happens with us as artists is that we're like, I don't want to participate in this gallery, or I don't want to participate in this thing because it's going to make me look cheap. That's not the problem artists have. The problem artists have is that they're not known. Not known. Or people know you, but they're not thinking about you. This I learned from Grant Cardone. They either know you, they've heard about you, they're like, oh yeah, I know who that artist is, but they're not thinking about you. Not known. Ethereal one says hello. That's the problem. The problem is not that your work looks cheap, or that your frames suck, or that's not the problem. The problem is that people don't know you to begin with. So if they don't know you, they don't even have they can't even express anything about it. You know? Out of sight, out of mind. You've been listening. I like that, Hamdani Art. You've been listening. Out of sight, out of mind. So, who has more leverage in the art world? Okay? An artist who's like, oh, my artworks are, they're so special. I only exhibit them with this gallery and no one else. Like almost nobody knows about them. But when he sells something, or they sell something for like 5, 10K. If they sell something, but nobody really knows, right? Nobody really knows who that artist is. They're never really, not enough traction, right? Not enough traction, not enough momentum. Who has more leverage? That guy Or someone like, I don't know, Keith Haring, who's got his artwork all over the place. By the way, very cheap, right? So cheap it's fucking free. That's how cheap it is, right? He's got his artwork all over the subways, everywhere. In merchandise, hats. Keith Haring, come on, you know? What is the difference between those two artists? One of them, Shepard Fairey, Obey. There you go. Yeah. Shepard Fairey, Keith Haring, any of those cats. You know? Any of those cats. Banksy, yeah. I mean, Hearst, Damien Hirst, Jeff Koons, any of those cats. Because we know them. Koss, yeah, there you go. Koss is good. I like Koss. Any of those cats, they're known. It does not cheapen it. What it does is that it raises. See, when something gets seen, right, it raises the value of it. Cause guy's killing it. Oh, yeah, he is. When something is known, the value rises. The value rises when it's known. When it's not known, there could be value, but it doesn't mean much. It doesn't. I mean, it could pay you. It could give you a good lifestyle, whatever. It's all good depending on what you want. But most of the problems that we have as artists, most of the challenge, 99.9% of challenges that we have is that people don't know us. People don't know us. That's the problem. The problem is not that your artwork is cheap or you paint it in cheap materials, or people always tell me like, oh, your canvases are not so expensive, your canvases are cheap. I'm like, dude, I'm like, shut up. Jeez. Like, look at Pollock and many other artists. They even painted on cardboard. Like, what the fuck? Like there's no such thing as cheap. It's either you're known or you're not known. And that's all that matters. Either you're known or you're not. And so one way to get known, I mean, of course, not everybody has the platform to be known worldwide. Right? That'd be awesome. Like Picasso had countries promoting his ass, right? He had entire countries promoting him, right? Endorsing him and shit. So that's worldwide. That's like, whoa. But not everybody has that. If we don't have that, totally cool. If you don't have that, that's totally cool. That doesn't mean that you can't be known. You can be known in small pockets, in small circles. That's how Jay-Z said he got started. Jay-Z, he's like, dude, I knew there was pockets of people out there that like what I did. You know, I just had to go and tap into those pockets, small pockets of people. That's what all great artists do. All great artists are not for everybody, but they do show themselves to everybody. This is where most artists get it wrong. All the great artists show themselves to everybody, but they know that they are not for everybody. So they show themselves to everybody. They reveal themselves, but they're looking for their tribe. They're looking for those pockets of people. And those pockets of people are the ones that keep it going. You know? Ifiro once says, the highwaymen in Florida. Yeah, the African-American painters in Florida. Yeah, they painted on anything they found on the side of the road. Yeah, because of the bullshit racism in our country, this like artists were not allowed to participate in the gallery system. You know, man, we're fucked up as human beings. Anyways, these guys were like, dude, that's not gonna stop us. You know. And so they started creating artwork with whatever they found exactly, and they were dubbed the highwaymen because they were on the side of the road. They're like doing their own quote unquote exhibits. If you go buy something, that's not that long ago either. I think it was 60s, maybe 60s, 70s, even up to the 80s. I think that's not that long ago. If you buy something like a piece from the highwaymen. Some of the cheaper ones are like $10,000-$20,000. Some of the like the cheap ones. When I mean the cheap ones, I mean the little sketches or whatever. Yeah, they made it happen, and they got known, right? They got known as time went by. They got known for what? For not giving up. For not Yeah. Now they're wanted and valued. Absolutely. Now they're wanted and valued because they made enough traction, right? Enough movement. They made enough movement. They didn't stop. They didn't go, oh man, well this sucks. Of course not, right? This is the power of the human being. We're like, nah, we're resilient, right? Like oh, okay, shit's not working there. Here, let's move, right? All these assholes are racists. Okay, let's move. Let's switch it. Let's see what we can do. Let's switch it, right? So they found a way, and now we look back and we see this artist and we're like, man, like what can we learn from them? Persistence. There you go. Like what can we learn from these guys? From these people. What can we learn from them? It's just, man, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. Whatever the circumstances, just keep showing up. That's all you got to do. And what something that we fear as artists is that people are going to know us for the wrong reason. And man, like, people are not going to know you for the wrong reason. That's one fear. Like, oh, I don't want to be known for the painter who paints landscapes like this. When the world gets to see my art, I want them to see this. Don't worry about being known for something. If you're going to worry about something, just worry about being known. Don't worry whether you're going to be known for, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, whatever your thing is. Don't worry about it. Just worry about being known. Like, you have a much better shot at being like fucking YouTube famous as an artist than trying to be like, oh, trying to get everything perfect and being like, I'm going to get everything so perfect and everything. And people are going to know me for this in the art world. You got a better shot of being a graffiti artist and just get known. You got a better shot of just producing artwork and just putting it out in the market. Put it out in the marketplace and just be known, and be persistent with it. Be persistent with it because you will start finding those pockets of people. I'm not saying everybody, but show yourself to everybody so that you can scoop in the pockets of people that you need, that are for you. The people that raise their hand and say, I like the shit you're doing. I like that. It's pretty cool. Or maybe they don't like it, but over time, it's like that bad song. All of a sudden you're like taking a shower and you're like, oh man, I hate Taylor Swift, right? And you're humming to it. It's because it's penetrated the consciousness, right? It's penetrated the psyche, right? It's there. It's so much in the environment that you end up like dancing to it. You're like, yeah, all the single ladies. No, I like Beyonce, but not as much as my wife. Funnily, my fear is I'll be known for not having a thing. Yeah, we have these ideas, We have these ideas that if I don't have a style, oh my God, I need to be known for a style, or I need to be known. Monet was known for the water. That's not true. Renoir was known for this, for the nudes he painted. That's not true. Those cats had all one thing in common. They broke the status quo. Now, the other thing they had in common, they had a few things in common. The main thing is that they broke the status quo, right? They were like, everyone was painting realism, and they were like, fuck that. We're not going to paint realism, right? So they were the Jackson Pollock. They were the Banksy of their time. When everybody's trying to be hyper-realist, Banksy's like, nah, let's stencil the shit out of this, right? Let's make fun of this, right? Satirical art, right? When everybody's like, oh my God, we're going to do this so awesome and so elaborate. And you have people like from the school of thought of Chuck Close, right? Where everything's hyper realistic and people take great pride in that, and great, they should, right? It takes some enormous amount of skill to do that. But Banksy is like, paper, trace, psst, right? Like it's completely like breaking the status quo, just like Pollock did. Pollock's like, everybody's an expressionist painter. Everyone's all about them brushes. I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna put it on the floor and I'm gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna drip it. Right? It's different. Before that, Picasso, right? Picasso too. Everybody's like, oh, we're gonna paint this way. Picasso's like, we're gonna paint that way. And so people that truly break the status quo, and do it enough, they have a pretty good shot at it. They have a pretty good shot at it. But they have to break the status quo, not come up with something new necessarily. Break the old pattern. This is very different than new. Most people are looking for something new. They're like, oh, how can I come up with something clever? It's not necessarily painting in a new way or coming up with something new, but breaking the old pattern. This is where most artists go wrong. Most of us are trying to be clever. We're like, oh, how can I paint? I'm painting plexiglass. Dude, Picasso did that 100 years ago. Like, I'm going to paint it, not 100, but many, many years ago. I'm going to do this. Oh, yeah. Like, it's about breaking the old, not necessarily being clever. I'll show you who else broke the old. Name any famous artist. They broke the old. They break the mold, right? And something new is born. What's this dude's name? Warhol. Andy, right? Cool Andy, 60s Andy, yeah. Breaking the status quo, baby. Everybody's like, oh, I'm a painter. He's like, fuck that. He's like, we're going to screen print the shit out of this, right? This is going to be something different. This is going to be screen printing, baby. We're going to say that prints are real art, are fine art, right? Real fine art. When the world didn't think that. This is why they called Kim Kardashian the new Andy Warhol, even if people get sour about it. You got to give it to her. Right? Because she broke the mold, right? She broke the mold. It really, the mold was, she's disturbed the mold so much with the selfies that first people hated it, right? Oh my God, everybody's so egotistical with their selfies, and now everybody's taking this out. She broke the mold, right? And it actually, people think it's fine art, right? People think it's fine art because they disturb the mold, and that's what people that do great things, that's what they do, regardless of whether you like them or not. That's what Caravaggio did. Caravaggio disturbed the mold too. I can think of anyone famous. That's what they did. Madonna, that's what she did, right? She empowered other people, especially women in the 80s, by saying, hey, dude, you could be, you could be sexy, you could be this, you could be that, you could be empowered, you don't have to feel shame. Like, fuck them misogynistic men. You don't have to feel shame. You could be a powerful woman, right? And so she breaks the mold. That's what Madonna did. She breaks the mold, and she's like, no. Wait a minute. And so you're telling me that in order for me to be valuable, I have to behave according to how you want me to behave? And I have to be this type of person? And that's the only way I can receive value? She's like, I don't think so, right? So she breaks the mold. And so all artists, that's what Caravaggio did. Caravaggio was like, oh, so the only way that I can paint saints is if I do them in this way and that way, blah, blah, blah. Now, you know what Caravaggio did? Caravaggio went and got homeless people, people in the bars, prostitutes, all kinds of fun people, right? And he put them together, and he made that's how he would make his great, elaborate, it was almost satirical, right? Religious pieces, right? It was like he would paint someone who was more than likely a prostitute or whatever, right? Someone who worked at night. Something that was like, oh no, you can't, and he would paint her as the Virgin Mary or something like that. And people were like questioning, like, where did you get those models? Who are those models, right? Like, oh my God, why would you do that? And that's someone who's breaking the mold, right? But if you do that today, it's kind of like not meaningful anymore, right? Because it's like, man, like how meaningful is that? Because that happened in the 1600s. So it's not 1600s, yeah. Baroque, right? Yeah, Baroque. So today's not that meaningful. But if you did that back then, oh, you better carry a sword like Caravaggio, You better be carrying some iron. Defend yourself. Everybody who's famous in like has broken the mold. That's what Van Gogh did. Many people are like, oh my God, Van Gogh. Van Gogh didn't become famous himself. The artwork later on became famous. But the reason why, it's not just because there was a huge force trying to market the artist, but because the artist was so different, there was marketing into it. Like the art itself was so revolutionary for its time. I mean, you're talking about how he sped up things, right? It was completely different as opposed to everyone. Everyone else was still trapped in classic way of painting, in the classic way of painting. But Van Gogh didn't. Van Gogh broke the mold. Even Monet was still like having this fight between representational art and expressionism, right? Even in his last years. People think it was his cataracts, but I don't think so. I think he was an expressionist. But he didn't know that. So the one we give credit to is Cézanne, right? We give credit to Paul Cézanne. He was the expressionist one because Matisse said so. He's like, Cézanne's father to us, to all of us. And anyways, who gives a crap about any of that history? But what does matter is that people that do great things, they break the mold. So we'll leave it like that. And we'll leave it at that. My name's Jose Trujillo. This was Hammer. This was a weird Hammer time. Yeah. If you guys want to kick it more here with your friend Mundo in my art studio Mundo, I'm going to be doing some of these videos more frequent, okay? Because I want to break the mold of my non-frequency in these videos, all right? So take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Ethereal, thank you so much. Ham Danny Art. Thank you, guys. Keep it cool. And, man, I got a sore throat. And I'm ready for this, all right? Hey, get to work.